J to J, what's up, what's up? And hold on a second, y'all. Um, so this review obviously is going to be late because of how long it's gonna take to upload. So I'm apologetic for that, my bad. Oh, also check out the shirt, y'all know. I love me some Tyler Perry. Yes. Okay, so anyway, we gonna go right in, y'all, because I don't know how much time I got. Okay, and also I forgot to mention last week that Celine is back, y'all. Celine is back. The Celine that we have not seen since season 3 is back. And Candace wanted to talk to Derek, who is her father. She got the number from Hannah, but actually we're going to get into all that tonight. Okay, so let's go right in. Alright, so we pick up where we left off last week. Candace and Benny are watching the news. Excuse me. And we know he's talking to her about keeping the money anyway. So they're watching the news, and they, you know, there's a coroner's van outside, and then the reporters talking about there's 3 gunshot victims. We don't know what's going on at all. And Benny is looking like, what? Candace is looking intrigued as well. So they turn off the TV once the news report is over with. And he's like, girl, you know what this means, right? You could take that money and run. And she's like, what are you talking about? We don't know if it's him. He was like, nah, somebody got even with that motherfucker. He was like, and I could not be happier. Like, I hope that he's dead. Like, going all the way off. And Candace is like, Benny. It's weird to see her kind of being the voice of reason versus him, because he's always want to act like he's just the best person on the earth, and we're over that. I never had thought that about Benny ever. Matter of fact, I'm lying. Seasons 1, 2, and 1, 2, I thought he was okay. But no, actually, that was my boy, like seasons 1 and 2. And then when he started messing around with Veronica, I was like, I'm not messing with you no more. Like, I'm done with you. The breakup is official now. You know what I'm saying? So it's weird to see her as the voice of reason, but she's telling him, like, it's not right. Like, I can't keep that money. And he was like, girl, if he dead, he ain't gonna be able to spend it. And he was like, just take the money and run. And she's like, I can't do that to you. He's saying, I'll be fine. She's like, I know, but I'm trying to do the right thing for once. So anyway, they go to wake up Hannah, because she goes, well, how are we even gonna know if it's him that's dead, Benny? Like, we don't know. And he's like, I bet you it's him. And then she was like, we can't go over there. And he goes, well, come on, let's go. She said, where are we going? He's like, we're going to wake up Mom. They go in there and tell her that there was some gunshot victims at the Crier home, that, you know, 3 people were shot. Hannah immediately gets up out the bed, and she's on her way over there. She tells Benny not to go because it's not going to be safe for him. So all right, now it's going to be out of order, y'all. Let's go over to Veronica's house. So we know Veronica coming in from her night of torture. She just got back from her Halloween party with the black lipstick and all black leather. She was just at the Halloween party, y'all. She killed. Okay, I was there. So, she come in the house. She get a phone call from Celine. Remember last week she told Celine, if you want to not do this housekeeping, mopping, and all that, call me, girl. Because them kids in your house are gold mines to Jim Crier, hun. You don't have to do this. So Celine calls Veronica legit as she walks in the house, talking about, I'll come by tomorrow. And she's like, all right, bet. So then she goes to sit down, and old boy walks in. What is his name, y'all? I can't think. I feel like we heard it, but I can't think of it right now. He comes and sit right down next to her. Doesn't his whole entire squad. Now, that's what you call squad goals, y'all. The whole squad surrounded the witch. Like, I'm talking about front, side, the other side, back. And she looked all around and was like, dang. And she had a drink in her hand and all. She said, is this supposed to intimidate me? The cute, I'm going to call him cute dude. Everybody call him cute. He is cute. I can't think of what his name is. So he got the nice little beard too. Like, you know what I mean? Anyway. So, and he looks familiar. I know a lot of people have been saying that too. I haven't took the time to look him up though. But he's probably done something like Tyler Perry, other stuff. Anyway. So he sits down, and, you know, she goes, is this supposed to intimidate me? He's like, nah, I just wanted to make sure that you actually heard me this time, because last time I spoke to you at the hospital about my 2 dudes that died, one of them being my brother, I didn't feel like you were listening. So he was like, is this scaring you? She goes, no, this is pissing me off. And so he's like, well, let's make sure I never have to come back here again. And, you know, she's still playing her card, poker face. Yeah, because that would be a bad idea for you. And he goes, anyway, did you hear what I said? She goes, about what? He said, about those funerals. She was like, okay, when I came in the house, I was just making the arrangements, which we know was a lie. We didn't see it, but I guess maybe she's going to. We know she's scared, even when she's on her poker face stuff. So she was like, he goes, what's the name of the funeral home? She named some name, and he goes, and what about their kids? She was like, I'm setting up a college fund for the little bee, the little bees. And he goes, those are my nephews. And then she goes, well, they are, their dads are dead, Typical Veronica. So basically, she's still trying to act like she in control. She tells him to get out because they smell musty. She said they smell like a check cash and fried chicken Febreze. You know what I mean? So they about to leave. She's like, have them do it discuss this on the other side of the door because I want them out of my house. Oh boy, leaving, one of the dudes from his squad, and she goes, wait, you cute. She was like, do something with your hair and take a shower. And you can contact me again. She said, get my number from him. Oh boy was looking like, alright, you know what I'm saying? Like, what was that? Her and her whole self. And she, Veronica, when she drink it, it's a whole nother level. So he leaves. Oh boy leaves. And Tyler kind of gives us this visual. They're like jumping. Sorry, y'all, about this glare. I'm trying to cover it. They're jumping fences and all that, trying to get out. Like, it was so many of them, y'all. It was epic. Like, I was like, yes, would you met your match? And he told her, he even told her, like, I got so much stuff on you. And she was like, yeah, but you a gangster, right? So you don't snitch. And he was like, nah, you right. That's why I want to make sure that you hear me this time. I'm serious. Okay. So she's saying she's paying for the funeral and setting up college funds for the kids. All right. So now let us go back to the house with Benny and Candace. Mitch comes over because remember, him and Benny are about to go out. So Mitch comes over and him and Candace kind of have this conversation about, he's like, I love you, right? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, I got your back. You know that? Like, if you ever need a favor, let me know. He's like, mad people call on me for favors because of my family, but I'm not messing with them. He was like, but if you ever need anything, just let me know. Once again, y'all know that Tyler kind of teased a few seasons ago, and every now and again we get that vibe that they used to date back in the day. And so that love and that chemistry is still there. And I don't know what Tyler's going to do, but now that Charles is out of the picture, as of now, I don't know. Because Mitch is seeming like, what you want to do. But their whole basis for breaking up is because his family's racist and he would never defend her. I don't think that would change. I still don't think he would really defend her to his family. So I wouldn't see the purpose of them getting together, but I could see it happening. Because Mitch really does love her and have her back. Like, we see that. But really, she already with a white dude in real life. Can we at least get her brother on the show? You know what I mean? Like, no shade. Okay. So, basically he's just asking her if she's okay. And she's like, yeah, I'm fine. And he's just like, I love you and I got your back, girl. And then they hug. Benny comes in and is like, get off my sister. And he was like, come on, man. We family. He was like, nah. You hugged her a little bit too long for me. And so they about to leave. They're like, you sure you don't want to go? She like, nah, I'm going to just hang out here. And Benny was like, all right, bet. We about to hit up the strip club. And they slap each other up. I said, are y'all serious? You see, Benny, this is why I don't mess with you. Mitch, I'm going to give you a pass. I'm still over you. But you know what I mean? Moving on. So, all right, let's go on over to the bar. Okay. Now, Landon and Oliver see each other at the bar. Oliver's already there. Landon comes in. And he's, trying to get drunk and wasted because he just lost his job. Now, we find out, apparently, Landon was kind of about to get the chief of staff job. Like, he went from being, remember when we first met Landon, he was a publicist for the campaign. Maggie was the campaign manager. So he was always established, but he was working his way up to chief of staff. So he's mad as heck. He's telling Oliver, if you get that chief of staff position, I will kill you. He's like, because I know that you went above and beyond to get me out of there. And Oliver is playing it like a smart person would, not letting him know, yeah, I tried to steal your position. He's like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. I got your back. You trained me, bruh. Like, I wouldn't try to steal your position. And he was like, if you get that chief of staff position, I'm telling you. And Oliver's like, dude, he's not going to give it to me. And then, but he kind of acting kind of slick, like, no way, like, I'm not going to get it. But you could tell he thinks he's going to get it. You see what I'm saying? And he was like, you ain't nothing but a replacement. He telling him, like, you trying to be me and all this. Oliver, like, ain't nobody trying to be you or whatever. Landon gets up and walks away. I think goes to the bathroom or whatever. We gonna just finish the whole bar scene. He come back and tell Oliver, like, you need to skedaddle. And remember, everybody was saying that they were lovers? Well, Landon at one point, because Oliver is like, you need to get your stuff together. He was like, no, I need to be laid up right now with a fine dude, and that's that, okay? And then Oliver goes, well, I can't help you with that. And then Landon goes, ew, as if I would ever know. And then Oliver goes something like, all right, get your life, bro, get your life. And he left. So I do think Oliver is gay, but I don't think they ever had anything. So I think when Oliver last week, remember last week, he said, you really treated me like crap. I feel like he was talking about professionally, which is what I thought initially anyway. So, okay, Landon actually calls Candace. And Candace hangs up on him the first time, flat out. He calls her back and he's like, listen, I know you're upset, but I can spin the story. I can fix you and Charles back up. America's gonna love you by the time I'm done with this story. And she's just like, you know what? I don't even care at this point. I'm done with this life. Like, I'm just trying to move forward, basically, and do me. And, and he was like, girl, you were born for politics. She was like, no, I wasn't. And he's like, yes, you were. And so he's like, listen, just tell me that you're okay with me trying to spin the story and get you back in his good graces. And she's like, what's in this for you? And he goes, I just want to help you. She goes, Landon. He's like, all right, I got fired, okay? So she's like, this is about you. I'm just a pawn. He's like, you were always a pawn. But listen, he was like, I can help you out. She's like, bye, Landon. He was like, I'll take that as a yes. They get off the phone. He see a fine brother by the name, well, he said his name was Guy. So we don't know his name. Or I don't think we do. I heard him calling, he goes, what's your name? I'm Landon. He goes, I'm Guy. And he's like, that's your name? And he goes, no. Like, but I'm not going to tell you what it is or whatever. So Landon, of course, is trying to be laid up with this brother. And he is not gay. He's like, are you gay? He's like, no, I ain't gay. What's wrong with you? He's like, are you curious? He said, no, not in the least. Could you please leave me alone? I'm studying. And Landon goes, oh, I'm sorry. I'm a bit of an a-hole, And so he's still trying to holler at the dude. At one point, he was like, you're just very attractive. And he even, like, does like that. And I was like, Landon, what is wrong with you, bro? Like, something is wrong with Landon. I'm telling you. So guess who he sees? Dax off of Too Close to Home, but it's not, we know his name ain't Dax on here. He's FBI or working for the Attorney General or whatever. So he sees him. I think we find out his name. Well, we knew his name already. I forgot it. I think it's Scott. He sees Scott kissing up on some girl at the bar. Like, they're making out, full noses and tongues and all that are intertwined. So he starts recording, and then he gets up and goes over there, and he goes, hi, Scott. He's like, who is this? Scott didn't think that Landon something. He goes, oh, this is Melissa, my cousin. Now we find out that Scott is actually married. So that's kind of Landon's leverage. And he works for the Attorney General. It's a bad look for you to be out in the bar making out with some woman. So he's like, Scott, I need to talk to you. So they go sit down. Basically, long story short, he tells Scott, you need to get out of Detroit because I feel like you're here watching Charles, even though he denied it from start to finish. He's like, I feel like you're here watching him. I'm not here for it. You need to get out of Detroit or this video will be up by the morning. Play with me if you want to. Because he goes, could you at least delete it? He goes, no. You need to get out of Detroit and I want you out now. And then he waves and you know what I mean? So Landon is getting some leverage. Like, he's really about to work to get his job back. Alright. Okay, let's go over to David and Jeffrey. Now, this is the aftermath of the shooting. The police are there. David and Jeffrey are giving their statement. David did not want to say that it was Veronica because we know David wants to handle Veronica himself. Jeffrey, on the other hand, we know from last week wants to get the witch locked up. Like, Dad, let's find some charges that stick and get her put away yesterday. So he's telling him everything. He's asking, like, do you know who would do this? David is like, well, no, I'm a retired judge. I have a lot of enemies. And here's Jeffrey. Well, no, it was actually my mother. Yeah, Veronica Harrington. Yeah, she's 611 Westchester Lane. She gets her nails done from 3 to 6 every whatever from at Celestial Spa. And yeah, that's Veronica Harrington, Harr. You know what I mean? He's giving it all up. And David is just looking at Jeffrey like, Jeffrey. And then the dude walks away. And then David goes, Jeffrey, what are you doing? And he's like, Dad, like, I'm tired of this. We need to talk. We need to tell these people. Why don't you want to tell them? And he's like, your mother's too clever for them. The only way to outfox a fox is to outfox her. Like, she's too close. She's going to slip right through their fingers is what he was telling him. And he was like, Dad, I don't understand how you're so calm about this all of a sudden. Like, we need to try and get her locked up. And he's like, Jeffrey, my calm is a storm. Like, something is coming. He's like, yeah, Dad, I know, but I'm just tired of this. He's like, son, I know, but we got to get this together. Old dude comes back, the detective, and is like, oh, I'm sorry, you guys. It's just been a long night. Just a couple more questions. We actually just got done with the shooting at the Cryer home. And so he's going to try and ask his question. And David and Jeffrey go, what? Did you say the Cryer home? He goes, yeah. He's like, what are you talking about? What happened? All we know is there were 3 gunshot victims. Are they okay? What's going on? We don't know anything. We just know that it said that 3 people were shot. And then Jeffrey goes, dang it. And I'm pissed at Jeffrey immediately because I don't know, but like, why would you admit in front of the cop that he told you and you didn't do anything? Even though he told, like, okay. So he goes, dang it, he actually did it. And they're both like, what? And Jeffrey goes, he dead. He told me that he was going to do this. And he was like, dang it. He's like, did you tell anybody, son? And he goes, no, Dad. He was high as a kite. Like, I didn't think he was going to do it. And I felt like that was admitting fault in front of the cop, though. So, like, I don't know. But, so the cop's like, well, I just have a couple more questions. Because David and Jeffrey are like, okay, we out. You know Jeffrey's concerned about Wyatt for sure. And the cop's like, no, I still have questions. And David is like, listen, you can contact us here, there, and everywhere. We got to go. So they dip out. And they're going to see what's going on with the Criers. Alright, so now, let's see, y'all. Because I missed stuff last week. We're trying to prevent that this week. So, but you guys, I'm telling you, it's going to be a fiery season for sure. I'm excited about what we're in store for 110%. So, and this was a good episode. Like, Tyler's keeping that momentum going. It was, I think it maybe was a little slower than last week in my opinion. Okay. Jeffrey and freaking, not Jeffrey. Madison and Justin. Gosh. What people were saying, I guess, has come to fruition. Justin now has a thing for Madison because Jeffrey is not around. And we know anytime Jeffrey gives Justin the runaround or doesn't want to be bothered with him, he goes and finds a replacement. Until he sees Jeffrey again, pretty much. So, he is ringing the bell. Keisha comes in there. We know the sister, the nurse. She come in there to see what's going on. He's like, no, basically, I need Madison. Get him in here. Okay, what's going on? I'm leaving. No, you can't leave. You're a prisoner and you have a lot of internal injuries. Well, my lawyer just called me and said I'm free. That's why there's no guard outside my door. Like, I'm gonna leave. And Madison, you know, being Madison, he's always concerned, period. And he's just like, I wouldn't advise it, but I can't stop you. And he's like, well, I'm leaving. I need my clothes. He gives him his clothes. This motherfucker gonna say, well, can you give me a hand? And Madison looked at him like, what the hell are you talking? He was like, please. So, basically, Madison had to take his gown off, you know, the hospital gown, and put his shirt on. Which I was over right off the gate. And then he's like, oh, thanks. And Madison's like, yep, you know. And then Justin's like, so you work out, huh? Madison trying to get out the door. Yep, okay. And Justin moves in front of the freaking door like, you ain't leaving. He said, move from in front of the door. What are you doing? He was like, yeah, that was pretty creepy, wasn't it? I'm so sorry. And then he goes, but you do work out, don't you? Like, cheesing and all that. And Madison's like, yeah, and if you don't move from the door, I'm going to bench press your ASS across the freaking room. And you know, Justin, I want to keep doing that. Justin's creep herself. Ooh, that sounds kind of interesting. Madison said, get away from the door. So, and then I don't know, he makes this statement and is like, you know, you're a pretty good looking guy. And if you weren't such a creep all the time, people actually might like you. And he tells him to get some therapy. So I feel like that was kind of the closing on that. Like, I don't think anything's going to happen with Justin and Madison. I think it was kind of just like, Justin is a creep. And like, as I said last week, I feel like he does have some type of dependent personality disorder. And so just whatever guy is around and he ain't bad looking, Justin pounces. If Jeffrey ain't there, why not? You know what I mean? So that was the end of that. We're over it. Okay, let's see what else we got going on, y'all. And we know, and I also don't really think that what the F? All these J names. I don't think that Madison would go there because he knows, like, how complicated the relationship is with those two. Like, I don't necessarily think Jeffrey loves Justin. And I've said this before. I think it's more of a convenience thing. He told his dad, like, I've never had somebody this passionate about me. So, but I don't think Madison would go there because he still is very interested in Jeffrey, obviously. And if anything, he wants a friendship with Jeffrey. And this would definitely be a no. So, okay, y'all. Let's move on over to guess who we got. Now, I told y'all last week we didn't see them in the trailer. But Rocky and Broderick. So, we see them at Broderick's new apartment. That Catherine got. He a kept man, y'all. Not a kept woman. Catch them T's. A kept man. So, he's staying in Wyatt's old condo at that. And Rocky comes over. They have this, you know, kind of long drawn out conversation. And he's telling him, man, I'm going to get her to put this apartment in my name. Like, I'm going to be living lavish. Rocky like, bro, that's about to fall through the cracks. He's like, no, it's not, man. Like, I'm playing this. I got this. They basically say how since Candace has been outed to the world, they no longer have to worry about deportation. Rocky even went back to work at the hotel. And then Broderick goes, do you want a drink? And then Rocky goes, no, but you might need one in a second. He tells him that Catherine basically probably got shot at the house and they don't know what's going on. And you couldn't tell if he was worried about her or if he was worried that his cash cow was running out. I'll say that. So Rocky goes, man, yeah, you might need those drinks. And he leaves. So that's pretty much how that scene went. By the way, I don't know. I thought he was really starting to like her. So, like, I want to say that's why he was concerned, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. So now, y'all, I'm thinking this is the final scene. Hannah finally gets over to the Cryer's house. She gets through all the press, and the cops escort her up because she explains that she works for the family and is very close with Catherine. She goes upstairs. Catherine is like, she's in shock. She's like, he tried to kill us. Her hair is soaking wet. Now, I know a lot of fans are going to say this is not believable. I'm not even about to go there. Because I knew in my heart of hearts, she's not dead. The only thing that I have, really, that I could critique Tyler on is I feel like she at least should have been shot. Just, like, for a little bit more believability. But, anyway. She's sitting on the bed. Her hair is soaking wet. She's like, Hannah, he tried to kill us. He tried to kill us. I can't believe this. She's like, all I ever did was love him. I don't get how this could happen. And then she's like, I'm so sorry. And then she's telling her, she's like, oh my gosh. She's like, I gotta go check on Jim. Hannah goes, no. You stay here. I'm gonna go check. And she goes, could you please? She goes, yeah. She goes downstairs. And by the way, I want to say before Hannah even made it up the stairs, she sees that Jim is on a stretcher and being taken out of the house. So now she comes back downstairs to talk to George. And she goes, excuse me, is everything okay with Jim Cryer? He's like, we don't know anything yet. We just took him out of here on a stretcher. He's on his way to the hospital. She goes, okay. And he's like, actually, I wanted to talk to you. He was like, do you still work for the family? She goes, yes, I do. And we already knew he's his dirtbag self. He was going to try and get some information. So he goes, so is this kind of weird, right? He's like, can you tell me what the dynamic was like? And she's like, you need to talk to her. Whenever she's calm and cool, you need to talk to her. And he's like, all right, well, I just want to tell you that we did find Jim's notepad in his study, and your son's name was written on it with tomorrow's date. And she goes, what? And he goes, yeah, you don't know anything about that? She goes, no, like, what are you talking about? He goes, this says there's about 8 million reasons why this should be done. He's like, do you have any idea what that's referring to? And she's like, no, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. And he's like, well, I just wanted to ask. So she goes back upstairs and she's asking Catherine. She's like, Catherine, I'm sorry to ask you this right now, but does Jim have a hit out on Benny? And she's like, Hannah, no. And she's like, I can't. She's like, to be honest with you, I can't even think about it. And at one point, she even got mad at Hannah because Hannah was like, I'm sorry, I just had to ask. You know, it's my son. She was like, oh, well, it's difficult for me to think about that considering my son just tried to kill us. And Hannah goes, I know. I'm sorry. And she's like, no, I'm just on edge. It's okay. George comes upstairs with the police trying to make it seem like, oh, are you sure you don't need any medical assistance? Are you okay? I'm fine. Wait, are you sure? I mean, because George, I said I'm fine. He goes, okay, good enough. Cuff her, boys. You're under arrest. She goes, what? I didn't have anything to do with this. He goes, no, that's not what you're under arrest for. You're under arrest for the murder of Jennifer Salison. And she's like, I didn't do anything to that woman, even though we know she did. And Hannah's like, really? You're going to arrest her now? And she goes, Hannah, call Murray. He's the family lawyer. His number will be wherever. And that's where we cut off, y'all. But I actually want to go back because I just forgot my freaking train of thought, y'all. I don't even remember what I was about to say. I really don't. And I bet you it's important too. But listen, y'all. I don't freaking know. It's not going to be good. I'm telling you that much. It's not going to be good. We already know Wyatt is going to be in jail this season. Catherine, I mean, the only question is how long can she really be in jail for? I mean, could you really... Oh, and I would like to mention that when she was coming in the house, Wyatt goes, Hannah. She goes, what? He goes, I did it. She goes, you did what? He's like, I killed him. Go see. And so she go up in the house, like, she looking at him like he is crazy as heck. And we know he is. I don't know, y'all. But this... Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Catherine tells Hannah that she was coming... He shot over her. Like, he didn't shoot her. And she just kept coming up for air until the police came. And so I guess that was Tyler's way of trying to tie that up. People are still going to talk mess about it all day long. But, so yeah, she said she kept coming up for air until she heard the police come. Because he actually shot above her and thought that it was her. Y'all, I don't even freaking know. But I'm definitely ready for this season. And hopefully I will see you guys next week. It is the one and only your girl Jada J. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace.